working. You guys know Darren Tissendeer, our fellow club member, but I'm gonna let you guys tell us about the Ruck Run and the Warrior 110.
Yeah. Hey guys, great turnout tonight. Thanks for coming. Just real quick, I know it's getting late. We're with the Warrior 110. He's the president and I'm the vice president. There's just two of us. So, for some reason we have trouble finding people that want to walk 110 miles with a 45-pound pack on their back. But we do it to raise money. We had a great time last year when the Corvettes come rolling up the road. I had a little tear rolling down my cheek and it froze. But we're going to do it again November 12th. We're going to do 10 miles on the last day from Franklin. We're going to finish in Greenwood at American Legion.
The American Legion Post 52.
Yeah. So I'm going to turn it over to him, Brian, and let him tell you what it's all about.
Okay. I've met some of you, so some of you already know that I'm not known for needing one of these, but I'm going to give it a shot. So I started the Warrior 110 almost 5 years ago. We started it's a 501c3 not-for-profit organization where we support combat veterans that are struggling with traumatic brain injuries and post-traumatic stress, which is the cause all too often for the epidemic that is now veteran suicide, where we're still continuing to lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. It's not gone down. I heard somebody say, hey, I think we're down to 17. I'm like, well, that's from attrition, so that's not a good thing. So at any rate, we want to keep, the mission behind Warrior 110 is to keep awareness high. I don't have the answers. I don't know how to figure this out. I'm not one of the smart guys with the alphabet of letters behind his name on his business card. But what I can do is really ridiculously stupid stuff with Darren, where we make a fool out of ourselves and beat ourselves to death publicly to continue to bring awareness so that it stays at the forefront of everybody's mind and continue to support those veterans that are struggling with TBI and PTS. We do events throughout the year, different stupid things. I did an extreme ultra marathon last May. I will not do that again. That about killed me. But the backbone of what we do is where the 110 comes from, the Warrior 110. We have, every year we started on the banks of the Ohio River in New Albany there at the amphitheater. We road march with our 45-pound packs straight north all the way to Franklin, Indiana, which is 110 miles. We split it up into 5 days, which breaks out ironically to 22 a day, which we don't know what that number stands for. This year we changed it up a little bit. We're going to start on this side of the Ohio, and we're here in Louisville, and we're going to walk across the bridge and essentially take off through Jeffersonville. We're going to go straight up US 31, and then eventually in 5 days we're going to finish up, and we've traditionally finished in Franklin. We're going to take it all the way up into Greenwood. The American Legion Post there has generously offered to host a big thing, and it's a nice big post. It's a 2-story post. They're having a big steak dinner that evening and everything, and they're just going to host a big event for us, so we really appreciate it. So that's it. I didn't want to be too long with this. I know you guys.
Tell them how much money we earned last year.
Well, I think we broke $60,000 last year.
Wow.
Let me tell you what we do. So traditionally, what we've done is we've raised it to send veterans that are struggling to different programs throughout the country. We've sent a gentleman to Warrior's Heart, which is down in San Antonio. It's a 30-day minimum inpatient. It's for combat veterans struggling with addiction and post-traumatic stress simultaneously. You can't address one at a time. You got to attack both of those at the same time. This is an amazing program that they run down there specifically for that. Combat veterans, law enforcement, firefighters, all those I call sheepdogs that struggle with a few things. The other program we worked with a lot, I actually personally had the opportunity to go through that program a few years ago, is the Brian Bill Foundation, which is started by Scott Bill, named after his son, Brian Bill, who was a SEAL Team 6 member that went down in Extortion 17 in Afghanistan, where we lost quite a few heroes that day. But they work with combat veterans struggling both post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, through equine therapy. They have the horses, and you actually take care of the horses, you ride the horses. Then they do eye rest, meditation, all these different things. It's an amazing program run by amazing people, but it costs quite a few $1,000s to send one veteran through these programs. So we raise money for that. Moving forward, we've been talking about this for a couple years now. We are now starting to kind of save that money because we're going to initiate and start our own programs here based in Indiana that we can also facilitate and help those combat veterans struggling. And it's not just about veterans. We serve to help other people, but we don't have a monopoly on post-traumatic stress and traumatic brain injuries. There's so many people, speaking specifically with PTS, there's so many people walking around today with post-traumatic stress from the various different things, like, horrible childhood, abusive parent, sexual assault, terrible car accident. There's a lot of people struggling for it. So if we could get to the bottom of it, on our end, it's going to trickle down and affect everybody in our society in a positive way. So again, my name is Brian. I started this crazy thing a few years ago. Darren's been with me 99.9% of the way. He joined us right away that first year, and together we do this once a year. So we're going to be taking off here in Louisville on the 8th, finishing up in Greenwood on the 12th, and we will have a bottle of bourbon in our rucks the whole way up there. It's a different bottle every day. So, anyway, I'll stick around for questions afterwards, but I want to end this so you guys can get on with your evening.
Thank you.